Beauty will rise from the ashes if you let it.
Hey everybody, this is Jennifer Navarrete. Thank you for joining me for the Walk Talk Challenge. I'm joined by Mindy Conklin, who has a mission that we all need to hear about, and it can impact every single one of us. Mindy, thank you for joining me.
I really appreciate this, Jennifer. Thank you.
So talk to us about this mission that you have, because you and I have spent about 20 minutes or so talking about it, and I want to know more. So let's share what you're doing with our listeners.
Yeah, I am the founder and executive director of Hitting Cancer Below the Belt. We are a colorectal cancer prevention nonprofit based in Richmond, Virginia, serving the entire state of Virginia. And we have a mission to defeat colorectal cancer. And that is our true goal. And we are really steadfast and defeating this disease because it is the second cancer killer in our country in men and women, and diagnosis is rising sharply in the millennial population. It's very scary. The research now is showing you're 2 times more likely to be diagnosed with colon cancer if born after 1990, and 4 times more likely to be diagnosed with rectal cancer. So we have a lot of work to do because there's way too much silence that's wrapped around this disease.
Wow, those stats are sobering, and I'm so glad that you're sharing that here with us, because a lot of times we think, oh, that's not my thing. That's something for people who are older, or maybe that's something just for men. And the reality is, no, it's potential for everyone. So one of the questions I like to ask is, like, who is your ideal right fit client in relation to business or in relation to mission? But it sounds like every single one of us should be paying attention to our colon health.
You're absolutely right. We have different initiatives for different target populations. So we offer free screening for those folks that do not have insurance, for one. We offer a lot of education about gut health and colorectal cancer symptoms to the younger population. Those are in college, and those folks that are actually in schools. We go into schools and provide this education to students. And then, of course, to the general population, we have all kinds of different educational messages and different types of presentations that we can offer. But then we also work with cancer patients and survivors, because we want them to survive and to prevent a reoccurrence. So that's a whole nother way that we approach them. So you're absolutely right. Our target population is everyone.
What type of impact of the work that you do really is the most meaningful to you? In other words, what makes your heart sing in this mission work?
Well, we fund 9 colorectal cancer screening programs across the state of Virginia at free clinics and at federally qualified health centers, which are called FQHCs. And we get data back from these programs about every quarter. And what really just warms our heart and just makes us fly, honestly, is that when these screening programs are finding cancer, for these folks that do not have insurance and would have never been screened if we hadn't come in with this program and fund this program. And so we get data every quarter where they are finding cancer, and these folks then go ahead and get a colonoscopy, and literally their lives are saved. And so that is one thing that probably means the most to all of us.
Fantastic. Such a powerful mission. So now, words of wisdom. Now, you and I spoke before the recording, and you mentioned a situation that occurred in your life that inspired you to begin this mission. And I kind of want, for someone else who may have gone through a life-altering situation and they are feeling powerless, what are your words of wisdom to them to kind of take charge or take that situation and turn it into a mission in the way that you have?
One phrase: beauty will rise from the ashes if you let it. If you see that beauty can rise from the ashes. I was married for 20 years, and my first husband passed away at age 43 due to colorectal cancer. Devastated. I had a 17-year-old daughter finishing high school and a 19-year-old son his freshman year in college. No family history, no symptoms that we knew of. He was diagnosed, and 16 months later, my late husband, my husband at the time, he passed away. So that was devastating. I never asked why. I asked, make me better. I can't be bitter. I have to be better. I have to be a single mom. I have to be there for my kids. And I don't want this to happen to anybody else. So I think there's time to grieve, for sure. Absolutely. And grief doesn't ever end. It's a process. However, you get your feet back on the ground again, and then you can make a decision. Everyone doesn't have to start a nonprofit and have a cause based on tragedy, obviously. but what they can do is make sure that they transcend from the actual devastating event and go out and help in one way, shape, or form. Help, volunteer, be a voice. But you can transcend, and beauty can rise from the ashes, and that's what I would say.
I love that. So powerful. Where can folks go to stay connected with you? Where can they go to find out all of the great events that you're doing? How can they support your mission?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Hitting Cancer Below the Belt goes by the acronym H for hitting, C for cancer, B for belt, and the number 2. So you can find us at HCB and the number 2.org. And obviously, they can always just email me directly, M for Mindy and Conklin, CONKLIN, at HCB2.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mindy, for joining me on the Walk Talk Challenge.
Thank you, Jennifer. I really do appreciate the opportunity.